We have been studying for a while here on the broadcast from the Gospel of Mark. And it's been fascinating to me to read about the conflict between those who are of the, quote, religious hierarchy, scribes, Pharisees, Sadducees. They all came. And they came to disrupt. And they were insanely jealous of the ministry of Jesus Christ. And they wanted desperately to stop him. And I found it to be interesting reading just the other day in the book of Matthew about the time when Jesus was in a house. And it says that the crowds of people were just all around the house. And nobody could get in. And the four men came with their friend, you remember, and he was on a mat, and they were trying to figure out how to get him into the house, and they decided to take a part of the roof off and lower him down. And I read about that. And then, as I read on, I read that they're sitting in the house, taking up space from someone who may really want to be there to hear what Jesus said, was a bunch of the scribes. They were there in that house. And that was just what was going on. And then we come to the 14th chapter of Mark, and we read about this woman who came to Jesus in the house of Simon the leper. And she had an alabaster box full of ointment. And she came for the purpose of worshiping Jesus. And it is, again, you find this story in the Gospel of Mark, the Gospel of John, and the Gospel of Luke. And they all have different variations. I mentioned this last week. That John said it was Mary, as of Mary and Martha. Luke said she was a sinner. And you put all that together, and you come to the conclusion that this was a woman who just needed to be in the presence of Jesus. And I think that hasn't changed, even through all of these years. There are people who just need to be in the presence of Jesus because there's ministry there and there's hope there. There is always triumph and victory at the feet of Jesus. And this woman so desperately needed just to be at his feet, but yet there were those there in that room, and all they could do was to belittle and to accuse and to say that what she is doing is wrong, when all she wanted to do was just to acknowledge her love for Jesus and just to worship him. And I say, if only that spirit could be all across the land. Don't worry about what anybody says. When the Spirit of God leads you to the feet of Jesus, you just need to go there. This is Pastor Jack King with the Gospel on the radio broadcast.